You're famous now, Brian.
There you go.
That's part of the state requirements for doing Zoom meetings.
Hey, I want to tell you before we get started, I had an interesting call the other night. It was a FaceTime call, and it was my next door neighbor, the husband, and I'm in bed, and I don't have the good sense not to answer, so I answer. And then had all manner of fun with him because of calling me, you know, when I was in bed, back in bed. So these things are no joke. These different programs or what apps.
Yeah. So with that, Linda, thank you.
You waited until we were live on YouTube.
Now that we are live on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brian,
So expect someone tonight at some time.
Okay.
That sounds great. We're going to call the meeting to order. And do we have a motion for? Are we missing anyone other than Doug and Vicky?
Just Doug and Vicky. I think Vicky's out of town.
Yeah, Vicky's on vacation. Doug had some sad news. Should we send cards individually, or can you send his address, or we probably have that somewhere you've given us in the past?
I can send it out if you want me to email it. But
That'd be good.
we have one started here from the employees.
Okay.
But I will send an email out to the board with his address.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So with that, do we have a motion to excuse Doug and Vicky?
I so move.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
Linda.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Hey,
Aye.
Brian, you've been out of this a little bit. I need to do a roll call vote.
Oh, that's
So I
right.
can't say aye at the same time. That's another little different thing there. So
Okay.
Dalgarn,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Elder,
Aye.
Duval.
Aye.
All right.
And what time did we start the meeting? 6:05?
Yep.
Okay.
Any questions on minutes from the last meeting?
Did the motion look correct as far as the vacation? The change to the vacation policy for 2020. Was everybody okay with how that read?
I was.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right. Correspondence, public participation.
We do not have neither.
Does anyone walking through Linda's living room count as public participation?
Just the dog.
Director Fiscal Officers Report.
Okay, so financial statement for June, I'll go through this. $44,022.10 for June for the PLF. Our July PLF was about 3.5% under budget. Our June PLF was around 10% under budget. So that's slowly starting to come back for state revenues. Year-to-date revenues, 449,769.30. And we've brought in about 48% of total revenues for the year, about halfway through. So we're doing pretty good for what we've gone through so far. Total expenses for June, 64,388.13, and then net loss was 17,590.44. Year to date, we are cash. We are up 57,454.21 after you put transfer in back in. So cash wise, we're doing okay. And then I do have one donation to report. It's donation jar. We made that deposit today, and it was for $63.03.
I make a move to accept the donation.
I second.
Who was the second on that?
Gail.
Yeah, okay. And then roll call vote will go Elder,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Duval,
Aye.
Dalgarn,
Hi.
Hayes.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Second page there are salaries and benefits. We're about 46% of the way through the year, or 50% of the way through the year, and spent about 46% of the budget. Supplies for June was 1,134.45. We've only spent about 27%. Purchase contract services, we've kept those expenses down to 24% of the budget so far. Library materials, we've made cuts to those, so that's at 34%. Capital outlays at 14% for furniture and equipment. We've already paid most of our dues and memberships, so that's why it's over to 50%. But year to date, we were at 487, 315.09. The third page, the fund balances. General fund 782,028.78. Building fund 274,784.69. Repair fund 113,125.86. Technology 15,234.46, and then all funds 1,185,173.79. And then our checking account balance was 31,548 cents. And then on the last page, we had 4 expenses that were over the monthly budgets. First one, accrued sick leave, was due to Beverly's sick leave buyout for her retirement. The OPERS, we had 3 pay period dates that ended in the month of, I think June, I believe, that we paid. AV, we just had, I think, more deliveries. We had a slowdown there for a while from Midwest Tape where we weren't getting as many deliveries as possible due to just us being closed and then not getting shipment of items. So that's trying to catch up. And then dues and membership was our annual HioNet dues. And that gives us discounts for Ingram and that kind of thing for books. Brian, do you know offhand kind of where the CD rates are?
CD rates?
CD rates. I guess I could check on public funds because our money market's at 0.146. So I don't know if CD rates would be better at this time, or do you think I should look into it?
I'm looking them up right now for at least what we have to offer. So maybe.
While he's looking that up, I'll just let you know we had a transfer on July 10th. It will not need a board motion, but it was a $20,000 transfer from the Park National Bank money market to Park National Bank checking just to cover current expenditures.
So business account CDs to get above, what are you looking at, 6 months?
Yeah, anywhere from 6 months to a year, probably.
0.1, 0.125, 0.2 for the year.
Okay.
So I think the Fed meets tomorrow, and I doubt they'd have anything but negative news, which usually means rates are going to stay as low as they can or even go down.
Okay.
But I don't know what the election is going to bring. That's the only wild card. Is I don't see rates going up overnight, but no one sees anything changing until then, at least. So,
Well, we'll just sit pat right now and keep an eye on things and maybe wait till later in the year then to look into those.
then looks like we have some bills to be paid.
Yep. So I forgot to send that out today, didn't I? I said I neglected to send it out
Yeah,
electronically.
yep.
So I'll just go down through it real quick then. Total print expenses was 4,160.54. Non-print 7,992.25. You don't need to write this down, Gail.
Okay,
Supplies 1,052.37. Other expenses 6,406.21, and then total bills to be paid was 19,611.37. The only things kind of that come up there out of the ordinary is our CLC dues, which were about $8,000. So we pay that quarterly. But most of the other things on here, you've seen before. And I think Brian has a copy if Brian has any questions on it.
Thing looked pretty standard.
And then Linda, you would have a copy in your packet too.
I do.
Okay.
Since I have the packet, I'll move to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Okay, that was Linda. So we'll do roll call votes. Elder,
Aye.
Lee,
aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Dalgarn,
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
So we'll go on to the circ reports. So Mary, whenever you're ready to kind of review the circ numbers for last month.
Okay, our total circulation is down 44%, but e-resources up 170%. New patrons are down 100%. Reference questions are down 64%. Program attendance is up 6%. Internet use is down 97%, and Wi-Fi use is down 44%.
We have any idea compared to other library? I mean, obviously everything's gonna be way down because of the closures. Is that par for the course?
Pretty much. I've been looking at other library circulation stats, and they're pretty similar to ours. So
Perfect. Any
And hope-
questions for Mary?
Hopefully the July numbers go back up a little bit as we've opened to the public.
we're open. Everything's open then.
How is that going, opening to the public? Are you seeing a pretty good flow of people?
I'd say, like, in my opinion, the first 2 weeks were slow. Weeks 3 and 4, it slowly started to pick back up. And then I don't know if it's maybe slowed back down a little bit as we went under the level red
Mhm.
per the state, but it's been manageable. We haven't been overrun. But it's not, I thought it would be a little bit more than what it is so far.
I think a lot of people are still using curbside service too. So
Okay.
Any other questions for Mary?
Good job, Mary. Thank you.
you.
Okay, we'll go into old business and modern libraries is kind of sticking out like a sore thumb on there. I know I need to work on and get to and find time for, but have not been able to. But I'm going to keep it on there. We'll get to it at some point. That's my goal. Modified services, we kind of went into a little bit. It was our intention on August 3rd to go back to normal hours and go back to one staff. As these cases have spiked and as we have gone to a level red, this new system has come out. I know Granville Library has closed back down and went back to curbside. Pickerington has closed down and went back to curbside. I believe that it's us and Alexandria that are the only two libraries that are allowing patrons in at this point.
In Licking County, yes.
In Licking County library systems. But everybody else is kind of staying curbside right now. I don't want to go back to curbside right now. However, I don't think it's wise for us to go back to regular hours just yet.
Okay.
And I don't think it's wise for us to go back to, as one staff just yet. I think we need to stay as two teams. I'm just concerned with the spike in cases. The other thing we've done since going to the red, obviously masks are mandatory now, but we've also lowered the capacity of the building from 40 to 25. We haven't gotten close to that 25, I don't think. The most I've seen in here, including staff, at one time's probably been around 18 to 20. But that's a number I think I'm comfortable with, that is manageable, that I feel like for the most part patrons can space out, staff can space out with that many people in the building. If we were to go to purple, God forbid we get there, but if we were to go to purple, I think at that point in time it would be essential business travel at that is allowed per the guidelines that are out there. So at that point in time, I think we would close down. I don't think we would just do curbside because it would be essential travel only. I know library is essential in my head and probably Mary's and the board and everything, but I don't know if we would classify under that based on these guidelines.
It would be essentially the same as back in March when we closed, because that was a shutdown for essential only employees.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, and then as far as the mask mandate goes, I've talked to the prosecuting attorney and I've talked to Bill Hayes, and legally we're not allowed to enforce it legally because we are a public building, and so what we've been advised to do is we're allowed to say it's required, it's a state mandate, and then as patrons come in, and there's been a few that have come in that haven't had masks, and we've asked them, do you have a mask? And they'll either say, oh yes, I got one in the car, or no, I don't, and we offer them one. We have some here, or some of them will just say, well, I'll just go do curbside instead of staying in the library. We haven't had a disgruntled patron or somebody that hasn't abided by it. But if there's one that comes in that doesn't want to wear one, I've kind of advised my staff to try to move them along, try to get them the materials or whatever service they're looking for, and get them satisfied with whatever they came in to do and get them out the door. The other side of that coin is if we have patrons who complain that somebody's not wearing a mask, to talk to those patrons and say, we've been advised that it's an order, it's not a law, and we're a public building and we cannot enforce it. The other topic of discussion is if it becomes an issue and more people start coming in the library not wearing masks and say they're not going to, even though the order is out there, I think it would be up to the board and your decision on whether or not we should shut the library down and just go to curbside for the safety of our employees and then the patrons coming into the building. That would be a board decision at that point. And I don't know how the board feels about that.
Well, I think we're all for keeping everybody safe. So, and I would keep under my hat as much as possible that it's a mandate to wear the mask or not.
Right. I mean, we're not publicly saying, it's not required.
Good, good.
We're not putting that out there.
Right, right.
We're asking people to wear it as much as possible. But what we don't want to have is end up on the news because we escorted a patron out
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is going to happen, but if it comes to a situation where half the patrons coming in the building are not following that mandate, I might come to the board and say, look, our patrons aren't following the guidelines. My staff doesn't feel safe. Other patrons don't feel safe. I think we need to go back to curbside at that point.
Hopefully that won't have to happen, but if it does, it does.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything that we should do right now to give you the authority to do that? I know you have the authority, but is there anything that we can do in advance so that you can on the spot do whatever you have to do?
I think like under the pandemic plan, Mary, does that give me enough guidance or enough leeway there to do that sort of thing without a board motion?
Yes, it does. There's something in there about limiting services is at the discretion of the director.
Good.
But I think under our pandemic plan, I could do that, but I wanted to make sure the board was comfortable with it before I had to do something like that.
Catch them out.
Okay. And then two other things under modified services I'll just say is I applied today for a grant through the state library through the CARES Act. It's the mini grant program. Are the bins that we originally purchased when we all went into quarantine and everything, they're kind of laundry bins and they're not really holding up too well. So this is a grant for $3,000 and it would be to purchase 2 bins that are like the book drop bins that we have for the book drop that actually fit in there, and they're easier to get materials out of, they're more durable. So I did apply for that grant today.
Okay.
Hopefully gets approved here in the next couple of weeks so I can get those ordered. There is just yesterday they made an announcement that there's a grant through Ohio through OBM for public libraries. So they're giving out $18.3 million to public libraries, up to $25,000 each for public libraries. But the specifics of those, what that money would have to go towards, hasn't come out yet. They made the announcement. So I'm waiting to get more information on what that money can be applied towards and used for. But that is out there. And if you want to, I know that they did say Senator Hottinger was one of the main ones pushing that and backing that. So it might be nice if some of the board members, if you just send him a quick email or if you have his contact to say thank you for supporting that grant initiative for the public libraries in Ohio. So.
And what did you say that grant was called?
I have to look it up real quick. Here.
So we just would say grants initiative for the public libraries would be enough.
Yeah, I can fill it in later. That's fine.
Okay.
So the state controlling board approves 18.3 million for Ohio's public libraries, for the public library buildings. They didn't have, I don't see where they have called anything specifically, but it is through the state. It is not a part of the CARES Act.
Okay.
You have to go through the Ohio's Office of Budget and Management.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. It's probably out there if you want more information on the OLC website.
It's good.
Any other questions on modified services and what we're doing? Mary, would you want to add anything to?
I mean, I think our staff is doing an incredible job with all the changes we've had to made and the limitations to services. So I just want to say that they're doing a phenomenal job, and I'm really proud to have them as our staff. So
Well, thank them for us.
We will do that. And then as you say something, I always think of something else. So the other, yeah, the other thing that has changed
My
over,
husband says, shut up, Gail.
over the past month is the Patel study, which came back. And so it's the second round of the study. And the most, I guess, I don't know the proper word, but for paper, for regular hardback books, that kind of thing, it's the same kind of results came back. But they did testing on magazines and glossy type paper, and they found traces of the virus on like glossy type paper up to 4 days. And we were only quarantining material for 72 hours. So the CLC made a decision to extend the quarantine period of check-in items, returned items, to 96 hours, so 4 days instead of 72 hours. And then the other thing that we've done internally at the library, and other libraries have done this, is we are not circulating magazines. We have pulled those from circulation.
Okay.
So those are my updates as far as that goes. The last old business is Story Trail, so that has been dropped off the Brenham signs. I know they have completed the design phase of it. They are hoping to get them printed out, and they're hoping to get it installed next week.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully next week we'll see the Story Trail go up. Suzanne did a fantastic job. I know she had to do a lot of the work this year because of the way things closed down and everything. But I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. But I believe the way she described it was there's pictures of different people. Maybe, I don't know if Carolyn would have more information.
She has a word and has pictures. They're actually photographs of people in the community that go with. It's really, really nice. I'm not just saying that because it's Suzanne. It's really, really good. I think. I'm sorry.
So you've seen it?
I have seen it. I thought she was going to send it to you.
Yeah, she said she was going to. I know she's in the Smoky Mountains right now.
She is. If I could figure out how to do it, Jeff, I'll send you what I have.
Okay. But yeah, it sounds like a fun project. It's different from years past for sure. But we're hoping to get that up next week. And then do you remember what she said, how long she wanted to keep it up?
I think throughout the year, but I don't think longer. I think she's planning on doing something with photographs every year, and she says that makes it easier for her.
Okay.
So I think it's still a 1 year thing.
Okay.
I'm telling you right.
Well, we usually take the story down right before like Halloween.
Oh, okay.
I think we may
makes
keep it
sense.
up a little bit longer, just to protect them from the environment and the winter. But that's the Story Trail update. Hopefully we'll get that up and installed, and I do plan on contacting the Standard once it is up, letting them know that we've put it out this year.
That's great. I've seen a lot of people walking that trail, probably more than I usually do.
They've been doing a lot of maintenance to it, the fence area there, and
Right.
was around the bridge where some of the trail eroded away.
It dissolved. I mean, it was a huge, you couldn't even get through, but I think it's fixed.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm anxious to see it.
That's all I have for old business.
Okay.
I'll move to new business. PLF 2020 update. So the county or the state, the county certified the new amount for our PLF for 2020 calendar year. And That is 535,603.44. That should be part of your packet there.
Okay.
Our original budget number for the year was 579,860.17. So that's approximately $45,000 decrease. When all this started to happen and we weren't sure what state revenues were going to do, if you recall at one of those meetings, we started looking at the budget and what we can take out of it to try to save money this year. When we did that, we cut about $94,000 out of the budget a few months ago. So instead of looking at a $94,000 shortfall, we're looking more than $45,000 shortfall. Not saying that's awesome or great, but we've put ourselves in a pretty good shape, I think. I don't think we need to make any changes. I think we still keep the hiring freeze at this point. I still think that we still purchase fewer materials. I'll say from an AV standpoint, there's less DVDs coming out. I mean, movies aren't being released. New pictures aren't coming out. It's slowed down. So that's not really, the cuts we've made is not really hurting me from that standpoint. I don't know from a book budget standpoint, Mary, if you feel like you're short or need more.
I mean, it's kind of tight, but it's doable. So I think we're okay for now.
Hey, Jeff, remind me again how they came up with these percentages. I just don't remember, and you've probably told us every year.
Is Burlington Homer?
With Burlington is Homer, yes. Yes. So I think they left their finger in the air.
Okay,
Kind of thing. Those percentages were all agreed upon before my time. So it's just the percentages, the directors in the county at that time, I'm assuming sometime in the 90s or maybe even 80s, Mary. When was the LLGSF was probably late 80s. So whoever the directors were in the county at that time probably agreed to those percentages.
they've never been reviewed since, right? I mean,
They were reviewed. That's when we had that little meltdown between the libraries
Okay.
and some of the previous directors in the
That
county.
was when Matt turned blue or purple.
I was trying to be nice.
I-
So
And I gotta watch what I say because I see we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just saw that after I'd shared my neighbor's story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was discussed back then, and the discussion wasn't changing the percentage. It was what we do with any excess from year to year. So if the PLF grew, how that piece of the pie should be divided up. And they put some formula in place that was based on circulation, number of patrons, number of visits to the library, program attendance, and all that stuff. We haven't looked at that thing one time since that's been put in place. We've always just stayed with what the percentage was.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions on the PLF updates? Okay, so we have 2 evaluations that we had in the past month. So Lori, who's done a fantastic job, she's leading Blue Team, which is the lesser of the 2 teams, in my opinion. But you know, I like to. But
It's all lies.
she's done a great job with them. I know that the library is in good hands the days I'm not here. Keeps us very well organized. And then Julie as well does a great job greeting the patrons as they come in. She's been with us now for 5 years. Mary, you've been with us for how many years? 15.
Mhm.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So They both had great valuations. They both, on their benefits election, chose to elect their salary increase. So if one of the personnel committee members wants to, we can do it under one motion, don't need to do two. Approve the evaluations for Mary and Julie and then grant them their step increase for this year.
So moved.
I move.
I
ahead.
beat you.
So Linda
Okay,
moved. and
I
then-
beat her. I
I'll
beat her.
second.
Okay, Linda is first
Yep.
Yeah, she beat me.
and then Kathy.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll do any further discussion.
Good reviews.
Yes, thank you. It's,
So we'll do roll call votes. Lee,
aye.
Laval,
Aye.
Dalgarn,
Yes.
Cruz. I'm
Four.
sorry. Elder,
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
I'm just reading off the list over here and the names keep moving on me.
Sure.
I was trying to get Mary to approve her own evaluation.
Yeah.
I approve.
No, Mary's doing a great job. I'd probably be lost without her. I wouldn't be able to walk into my office probably without her. Just be piles and piles of paper.
Piled with a bunch of crap just laying around. Excuse the language.
This is live, people.
Sorry.
I keep forgetting that. And then I see that little live in red.
Yeah. Any other questions? I guess the only other thing is Suzanne, I think Suzanne and Gail. What's the thing called out in the parking lot that we put out?
Oh, the blessing box
Yeah.
for the,
Box.
yes,
That's going pretty well so far. I
good.
see people going up and using it and putting stuff in it. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's good.
And then the other thing that's kind of brought up was like a seedling type.
Oh, yes. Suzanne brought that up, I think.
I forget what the actual, like the professional name of it is, but people can come in and donate seeds to the library and then take seeds kind of thing. And they're just in like a 4-drawer cabinet. I like to delegate, so I have passed that job off to Rita.
Okay.
Rita's got a little bit more time with not doing some of her programming because we haven't been able to. So she's going to be reaching out to the Johnstown Library and looking into that project.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get something up and running in the springtime.
Okay.
I think be our target.
I think that'd be fun.
Mhm. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I have one. I don't know if this is the right place or not, but I know that it's the end of July. And Mary, you did say somebody had the display case for August, correct?
I want to say yes, but I'll
Okay.
double check.
Okay. If so, I will try to be there Friday to take that one down.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to let you know, we're open 10 to 2. And I won't be there, but you can just ask for the key at the front desk.
Can somebody else unlock it? Because I couldn't get it to work. Well,
Yeah,
I know
Caleb.
you have a magic touch. That's why I'm asking.
Caleb could probably do it. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Thank you.
If not, we can just call the fire department and they can.
That sounds good.
You just break it in.
Any other questions or concerns?
Hey, Jeff, I know I missed the last couple meetings. I don't know if this has been done, but you guys mentioned how the staff stepped up. A lot of places are giving like a one-time small bonus or like an incentive comp deal. Have you guys talked about that at all? As to thank them for coming in through the pandemic, or?
We have not had that discussion.
Okay. Nothing needs to acted on now. Just something to think about. I don't know how many associates do you have?
We've got a total of 11 employees. That's
So
including
$100,
all those.
something like $100 each, something to get dinner or something. Just a way to say thank you. Throwing some cash at them. I don't know if that's a possibility or not, or what your thoughts are, but
I mean, to me, that's a board decision. I think it's a nice idea from the board. I think the employees would be appreciative to that. You know, it's not a bad idea.
Any other thoughts from the board?
I think it's a good idea if it, you know, if we've got the funds are okay.
I mean, that's always the question, but that's something that, you know, I can look into if the board wants me to.
I think that would be a good idea. I know some of the businesses are doing that through some of their CARES grant money.
Mhm.
It's allowed to be used for bonuses and salary on one of them. But I think if $100 would be great. The question would be, do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait till towards the end of the year when we kind of find out how we've gotten through it?
I mean, it's, you know, either or, but it gives me a little bit time to look at the budget and see how we're doing before we make a decision. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
look at that. I would say do it now and then reevaluate at the end. I know we're looking at like round 2, 3, 4, and 5, and if the numbers don't work, we're not going to do it. But if we continue to be okay, we're going to continue to try to just keep people sane. There's so much unknown and uncertainty going on. It's kind of nice. So I'd be in favor of adding it to the agenda for August.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will put on the August agenda, and I will sharpen my pencil and look at how the budget's looking for those accounts.
Yep. That's all I got. Anybody else?
Nope. Next meeting's the 25th. It'll probably be Zoom still. We'll probably be still zooming in.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have a vaccine and we'll be meeting in person again on August
Oh,
25th.
man.
One can hope. I will get an email out to everybody with Doug's address. So
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I can read it now. I have it in front of me if you want to write it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Not work? No, that's not a good idea. I will.
Oh.
email it out.
Oh,
Oh.
On
got
YouTube
it.
Live,
Yes.
Yeah. I will email it out.
We lost our heads there for a minute.
I think Doug would appreciate that.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks,
That
Jeff.
would have been a nice surprise for him, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
We'd be in trouble, I think.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Everybody, have a good week.
Bye,
Amen.
guys.
Bye.